What's up? What up? Hey, and Kurt's here. What's happening, Kurt? Angelica's
What's
here. Hey,
up?
Angelica.
What's up?
Aloha,
What's up?
Kurt.
What's up? Aloha, aloha. You know, I there's a theory going on Zoom that if you have books in the background, they're saying you're smart.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know
that
if
could be
that's
a
true or
theory.
not.
Yeah.
So
Or the
don't ask
theory
me
is,
don't ask me any smart questions. I wouldn't know.
or if you, or if you've got books in the background, it also means that you don't know how to use Google yet, and you still refer to books.
That's right.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it, though. Well, Angelica, welcome. How are you? Oh, I think you're muted, but you look like you're talking. Angelica, hold on a second. I think we could try to. Sheila, can you unmute her, or
Um,
Angelica, do you have an?
I asked if she can unmute herself. I don't think she's getting the
Oh,
Yeah,
there you
there it
go.
Oh,
is.
yeah.
oh,
There we go.
I invited her. She's a guest, like she's a realtor in California. So if you don't mind
Nice.
inviting her. So what else? If you don't mind, maybe Angelica, why don't you explain what you do and where you're at?
Yes, absolutely. Well, my name is Angelica Miranda Jones, and I am a realtor in California, and soon to be in Hawaii. I do work with a team that covers both California and Hawaii. So I've been conducting transactions through the team in Hawaii. And I am also married to my beautiful husband, wonderful, gorgeous man, who is my favorite and preferred lender. And he works for Castle and Cook from the branch in Oahu. So he's been in the business for over 20 years, and I'll be over the in the business over 10 years. So we work together, we make things happen. I actually met him being a client. I've seen him do like amazing things. So that's the guy to go. And I guess that's why we're
Awesome.
here today.
That's awesome. That's
He does.
fantastic. Great to meet you.
The husband does construction loans.
That's
So I know
right.
you guys are always looking for construction loans. So I thought it would be a good idea to bring on board. But thank you.
Yeah, he'll be joining us soon. He was finishing a call. He's closing an escrow today, so he's handling the business right now. But he's coming. I can see him. I can hear him. But yeah, he's been working Hawaii. He's been doing a lot of construction loans with builders and investors.
Oh,
He's coming
fantastic.
right now. Yes.
And he works for Castle and Cook as well.
Yes, Castle and Cook Mortgage. That's right. I work for
Okay.
EXP.
Okay, I'm with EXP as well.
Oh, good.
Great company. So that's awesome. Fantastic.
Yes,
Good stuff. And so you guys are based out of Cali or based out of Hawaii?
both. We go back and forth to here. Right now we're here in California, but we go to the Big Island.
Got it. Okay, okay. Well,
Hola.
fantastic. Glad that you're on.
What's going on, brother?
Hey,
How are
what's
you?
happening? Yeah,
All
good to
right.
meet you. Tell us your first
Pleasure,
name
pleasure.
again.
It's Derek.
Derek. Nice,
Yes.
nice. So you do business on Oahu or all of Hawaii and then
All of the
also in
islands.
California.
California, and soon to be Texas and sweltering Nevada.
Oh,
Nevada.
nice. Yeah. I'm in Las Vegas right now. It's very
Are
warm. It's
you?
beautiful. I am.
Dude, it's burning up there, isn't it?
It's about 100 today, so it's not too bad.
That's cool.
We don't mind. We like it.
No, no.
Yeah, we like it.
Don't mind a little heat at all.
Yeah, that's great. Well, good. So you do construction loans. So if anybody's interested in a construction loan, ground up, you do bridge as well, or what other loans do you do?
We do ground up construction loan. We do one steps, and we do which is you buy and we just do the one loan, or you can do 3 steps where you purchase the property, you own the property, we do the loan, and you get, and I'm sure everybody's familiar with it, where you get paid in increments. So it might be a third, and a third. But the loan itself, this one particular product, is an interest only. So you don't pay until you take out that money for that particular time. So if you are doing a site, let's say the first is the foundation, I'm just arbitrarily speaking, and you say, okay, well, we need, it's $300,000 project, 100,000. You won't pay the interest only until you take out that 100,000. And then obviously when you complete the project, you'll get the full amount if needed, obviously the 300,000 to pay off everybody. And then we also lend based on what the speculated value is going to be. So let's say that the value is going to be 600,000, but it's only going to cost you 400,000 to build it, or whatever the case may be. Or not, it will probably want to cost you 300, and your profit is built into that. But we would give you the speculated value. So if it's 600,000, our loan amount would be up to that amount.
Gotcha. Okay. So Jacob, that could work really well for that property that you were looking at for the ground up.
You
Yeah, that would be
sound-
awesome.
Yeah. Well, you have a potential property that you want to work with, Jacob?
Well, there was me and Kiko, I presented him a property here in Washington and Bremerton. It would have to be, the property would have to be torn down and then rebuilt.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a really bad shape property, but I just hit up Kiko and was like, hey, what do you think about doing a new ground up construction on this? So
Mhm.
yeah, I'd definitely be interested in reaching out and getting more information on your product you offer.
Cool. I'll definitely make sure to get it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, for-
so products like that with the ground up, if it requires tear down, a permitting process, obviously permits for electrical and plumbing and all that, is that all
Right.
covered into this construction loan that you're talking about?
Well, I'll give you a scenario in Hawaii, which is different from a scenario in California. The scenario in Hawaii is it takes about 6 months to get permits, and I'm kind of, overstating it. Sometimes it could take 8 to 10 months. So we want you to have your permits and your plans and everything all in order, and then you submit, and your contractor. If we kind of frown upon do-it-yourself contractors, but we're not against it. It's we would rather have an outside contractor and we're paying them, but some people like to do it themselves, and it kind of gets a little hairy if they're not experts at it. But if they're good at it, then I think they can handle it. And then so what we do from that point is that we want you to have everything in order, and then we submit it. And if you've already got your permits out of the way, we're not waiting that 6-month period for your loan to go through. It's already been processed. We don't have to wait 6 months. And we're turning the curve on the last month to 2 months. And we'd like to have you pre-approved within 2 months from the finished project. And we project that usually a project itself, start a project. So we project the project will probably take 6 months to a year. So we give you that span of time from the date, the inception of the loan, and then all the way 6 months to a year from there to get it completed.
Great. Jacob, how does that sound?
That sounds good. Sounds like I want to look more into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see if
so-
that property is still available though, Kiko. I didn't follow up on it. I gotta check.
Yeah.
Make sure it's
Yeah,
still.
it's interesting. The challenging things with new builds and new construction right now is just the cost is high for materials, but
Uh-huh.
still, if it works out in the deal analysis to have longer holding time and higher costs, then Roundup isn't a horrible thing. But permits is the thing
not
that
at all.
sometimes you just don't know.
Yeah. And the good thing is the profit is a lot larger. And once you get one down, it just becomes like, water. You know how to do it over and over and over again.
Yeah, 100%. The hardest
Mhm.
one is the first one, right? And then it's easy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like your first child is the hardest, and then that second one's easier. Third one, you don't even remember who they are.
Exactly. The first one, you've got gloves and your wipes and everything else. Second one
Yeah.
is they're in the dirt. The third one, you don't even know where they are, like you said.
Yeah, you don't even remember they're around. You're like, oh yeah, I think I got 3 kids. 4, maybe 5. That's awesome. I love it. Well, Jacob, you could reach out, maybe see if that might help you out a little bit.
Derek, if
Okay.
you want to put your contact information on the chat so Jacob can get it, and Angelina too.
Yes, there it is. I'll finish it up. Yes.
Okay, I got it. I'll write it down now.
Cool.
That's awesome. And Derek and Angelica, you guys are
Angelica.
welcome. Angelica, you're welcome to come on any Friday. Really, Fridays are fun because it's just an informal conversation about with investors from all across the country, learning together, asking questions, and seeing if anybody has a need, and then just introducing ourselves to other folks.
Sure.
So feel free to invite others as well. Kurt's always great at inviting people. So
Yes,
it's
he
always
is.
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
We would love
First
to.
one
We
who
would
makes-
love to be a part of it. Definitely.
Yeah, awesome. Love to have you anytime. So that's great. Thanks, Kurt.
You're welcome. Thank you for having them.
Yeah.
Yes.
On that note-
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Glad you're with us. Anybody else have any needs or anything that you're processing right now? Corey's in his car, so he'll join us in a little bit. Alex is on, but he's not on. He's listening. He's finishing up another call. But anybody of you just kind of needs or anything that you're going through that you're kind of wanting to process with the whole group, anything like that? Love to have you share. Everybody's doing good. Nobody has any particular needs this week, which is good. Well, we have a potential property in Waco, Texas. So where Chip and Joanna Greens are located, we have a building under contract that
Recording in progress.
we may have an opportunity to do a syndication on. So if any of you have an interest in kind of jumping in on a multifamily, that would be awesome. It could be a lot of fun. We're getting it several $100,000 under list, and it looks like a pretty solid project. And Waco is growing. It's right in between Dallas, Fort Worth, and Aspen. So that whole corridor which continues to grow. So something that could be a lot of fun. So if you have an interest in multifamilies and maybe doing a little bit of an investment, happy to look to learn more about that. We're just running some more final numbers on it, and then we'll let you know as soon as we get more data. Could be a fun one. Anybody else got anything happening there? Got lots of information going back and forth. Okay. Well, should we talk a little bit about projects then? If anybody thinks of anything else, and we just kind of see what people are doing, and then it's supposed to be coffee talk. It's not really a major presentation or anything like that. So really try to make sure we talk about stuff that you folks are doing. How about we start with Ann? Ann, you got anything kind of going on in real estate there that would be exciting to share with the group, or anything that you're processing, or anything that you might need any help with?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
you
hey,
had nice
everybody.
glasses on. Yeah. Where are you from right now?
I'm from Wisconsin originally, and I'm in Wisconsin right now, but I live on Oahu. And I'm currently in my 1900s home that I'm finishing up hopefully in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, nice. Look at that. Take us
yeah,
on a quick tour. You got a minute. So this is a 1900s home in
Okay.
Wisconsin. And
So-
did you pick it up, or you grew up in it?
I picked it up. I'm actually going to do a lease option on it.
Nice.
There is just like everywhere, there's a major housing need. As a matter of fact, I was watering the sod yesterday, and 2 people walked by and asked if I was renting it out. And then the Lowe's home delivery guy today that delivered the appliances asked me if I'm renting it out. So there's massive need here in this small town in Midwest Wisconsin. Just in the past 2 days, I've had 3 people ask me about this one house. When you were speaking about ground up development, it just gets my mind thinking here. There's a small hospital that's going up, like a 10-bed hospital that's going up here, and Mercury Marine, the outboard and inboard engines, one of their two major plants is here in town. So
No
there's
kidding.
huge need for housing because the factory is so huge. But anyway, there's a huge lot for sale that could easily be done up for ground up for these housing needs. And I just don't know where to begin, but I'm really good at finding all these places because I have the time to drive around and take notes. So anyway, this is the house. If you guys are really interested, I'll try to make it quick. So this is, all right, so this is the little vestibule. Let me turn this around, my camera around if I can do it on here. Okay. This is where you walk in, the little vestibule, whatever area. Back in the day, this used to be a second door because it was really common to have a bougie door to go in, and then hang out in your parlor. And then this was just for everyday life that you would come in the front door. I did not do any of those structural changes. But anyway, so you walk in and this would essentially be the everyday living room.
Nice.
And this would have been like the parlor in the 1900s where we would all hang out with our bougie friends. And then coming in here is the fireplace room, probably the dining room. Oh, that's me. I always let the contractors know who's here because I don't live here. So I make a fat head of myself and put it up. Nice. Fireplace. Fourth bedroom, office, workout area, powder room. Trying to stay kind of period correct with some cute wallpaper and that kind of thing. Little closet here. Because in Wisconsin, we have to have jackets and boots and, you know, so we got to have a closet for all that stuff. This is laundry and mud room in here. Kitchen.
Okay.
And
kitchen, so you're doing some new cabinets in there, new appliances.
Yeah, new cabinets, new appliances. You know, light fixtures. The hardwood floor was really bad. Like someone used a grinder to get the staples out. So I'm actually just going to do luxury vinyl plank over this because of the cost it would take to make it look, you know, period appropriate, if you will. Yeah. And then this way around just takes us back around to the living room.
That's awesome. So you're leasing it right now from the seller?
I bought it from a wholesaler.
Okay. Gotcha. So tell us your numbers. What did you buy it for? What's Wisconsin money these days?
So I bought it for $65,000. Okay. Actually, $65,000, and I have about 65 into it, and I'm selling it for 190.
Wow. Okay. Gotcha. Is 190 an aggressive number for that market, or is that a good one?
I'm sorry?
Is the 190 a fair number for that market to purchase?
Yes. Yep. There's a huge out the front door here. Sorry that you have to look at my face here. I'm not really good at this. So out the front door, out the front here, across that block is a huge park with a huge pool. You know, there's a bus stop literally right there outside of the front door. You know, so this is kind of a easy access for, you know, the people who have the families. It's a big 4-bedroom. Then we have, you know, the haunted stairs that go up for the second floor. There's 3 bedrooms. 3 bedrooms and a bath up there. And honestly, because my town is so small, I knew the people who lived here. I actually took piano lessons in this house.
Oh, how funny.
But I'm not good, so, you know, don't ask. So 1 bedroom, another bedroom, and then a cute little Jack and Jill porch that goes around to, oh, sorry, the window guys come in. Okay, that goes around to this bedroom, and then we're back to the beginning.
Very cool. So 65K purchase, 65,000 on renovation, so you're all in about 130, and then you're going to get it 90 after costs, you're gonna make what, about 50K, something like that?
Yep.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Yeah,
Interesting. That's cool.
there's a lot of houses actually in this area that I am going to contact owners because they're large like this one. And the 3 people that contacted me have, they have families. So if I can get in touch with these owners and get going, I would, because I don't live here, I would love to have somebody to work with because again, I have the time while I'm home here to find all these properties.
That's awesome. What city is that again?
It's Fond du Lac, and actually Tay, she's willing to work with me. You know, her and I want to partner up, but of course we're both not here, you know. It's Fond du Lac, capital FOND, space, small DU, capital LAC. It's in Wisconsin. And it's about an hour. I'm sorry?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Like, how far from a major city are you located, and what's in that town? University.
Yep. So we're an hour north of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
But the surrounding area here in Fond du Lac, so we have the Mercury Marine factory here, and they only have 2 major factories in the United States, and one of them is here.
Okay.
And then we also have a huge printing company called Quad Graphics, and they're the ones that print like all your magazines and, you know, pamphlets and stuff like that. So another huge industry where people come specifically just to work at Quad Graphics. And, you know, obviously need a place to live then. My dad actually worked at Mercury for, I don't know, like 44 years or something. Anyway, so yeah, we're about an hour north of Milwaukee. Chicago's 2 hours away. The town here is about 45,000 people roughly. And I don't know what other stats you want to know. There's a major airport out of Milwaukee. There's a major airport out of Appleton. It's about 40 minutes from here. And I think a lot of, you know, Tay was interested in working with me because we built a nice relationship, and because my town is French and she speaks French, the name of my town. I made that part out, but anyway.
Well, Anne, drop your email address in the chat if you will, and then that way, if anybody wants to reach out just with questions about the Midwest market, it's
Milwaukee. I have a duplex in Milwaukee. Milwaukee's pretty, you know, it's a medium size. It's about 650,000 people, you know, with a major airport and sports teams and children's hospital and the level 1 trauma hospital, you know, so there's also a market there that I have written down quite a few duplexes to contact the owners, you know, because I had time to drive around while I'm home. So, anyway, I'll drop my information, and I appreciate any help or, you know, and thanks for hanging with me in my old timey home.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And I mean, Wisconsin's a great market. So, you know, for people who are interested in a good return, I mean, you've got a good one happening there. So that's exciting. So drop your information in the chat, and then that way anybody who may want to work with you. But that's awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Sure, thanks. I get nervous doing this, so thanks for your patience, everybody.
No, it's super cool. It's always fun to. Oh, go ahead.
So I wanted to let Ann know that I also know an investor in Fond du Lac. I did a private money loan on a first position on Fond du Lac County on Satterley Street. Maybe you know him. His name is Andrew Charlton or Andy Charlton. He owns
yeah. Andy? I'm kidding. I've never heard of him.
Never heard of him?
No, but you know, if he's in Fond du Lac County, that's really big. I'm in the city of Fond du Lac, so Fond du Lac County holds a lot of other cities.
Okay. He also is looking for another loan that I'm debating on funding him. He got me in touch with this. He's currently being refinanced on like 7 properties. Maybe you know I don't know if you know these areas he sent to me. Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Sheboygan,
Yes.
and then the other one is
Sheboygan.
Wapaka, I believe.
Yep.
Wapaka, Wisconsin.
Yep. So
Yeah.
Sheboygan is where it's right next to Kohler, and Kohler is where all your sinks and toilet and bathtubs and everything else are made.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So Kohler is a huge, it's actually the complex where Kohler is at is absolutely huge. It reminds me of almost like a military base. I was active duty for 10 years and the complex is huge. So they're, and one of my friends works in Kohler in the IT department and they are, it's a huge, huge operation there. So Sheboygan is a good investing area. It's a roughly about 50,000 people or so. You want me to go check on a property for you? It's about 40 minutes. I was just there 2 days ago.
No, it was just properties he sent to me that would be my security position that I would be recorded on a second lien. I just wanted to know if you're familiar with those areas and if they're in high demand. But I just wanted to check because he's saying Fond du Lac is a high demand for rentals. Is that accurate?
Totally. I was just watering my grass and two people while I was watering asked if I was renting this one property. Just in the 20 minutes I was out there, they were walking their dogs. And then the Lowe's delivery guy today asked me if I was renting this property.
Got you. Okay, that's good to know.
So huge. Yeah. So
That's awesome.
I'm here till July 12th. So, and I plan on, my dad will just be my chauffeur and I would just write down addresses and I know there's a lot of properties that need love or a new owner around here. The only difficulty with Fond du Lac is that most people are very unfamiliar with somebody knocking on their door and saying, hey, how would you like somebody to take this house off your hands, type of thing. And they're so, you have to have a real estate agent to sell. You have to get your house ready to sell type of mindset. So that's the only obstacle I would say about this area for like getting off market properties.
Okay. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. And Wapaka's nice too. My cousin lived in Wapaka. She was a cardiac nurse up there. It's a huge city, huge hospital.
Okay. Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome.
Thanks, Aaron. This is great. It's awesome. And I think that cool little trick that you do that could be something for all of us is that you took a picture of yourself, blew it up, put it on the mantle. And that's kind of cool because sometimes the trades want to know who they're working for. It personalizes it a little bit, and then they don't feel like they're working for some crazy investor who's all about the money, but somebody nice behind the phone calls. So
yeah, I
like
am
that.
nice. I am nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
I like that idea.
I write on the back my name and when I bought the property and I write a little message and then I either shove it in the wall behind some drywall or I shove it under some carpet. And when they remove it in a couple of years, they see my face.
Wow, that's awesome. I love it. That's fantastic. Well, thanks for sharing. If anybody wants to get in touch with Ann, she's got information there in the chat as well, which will be good. But let's hear from Glenda. Glenda, you got anything exciting going on?
Not right now. I just quit my job yesterday, and I'm heading to San Diego tomorrow.
Well, congratulations on quitting your job.
Yeah, I was working till 10 last night to finish up everything, and they're still calling me till now. But I'm gonna concentrate on multifamily. I'm going full time. I'm not going back to W2. Yeah.
I love
That's
it.
my goal.
I love it. Well,
Yep.
Multifamily is my jam, so you let us know when you need anything with multifamilies.
Will do. And I'm gonna be networking in San Diego. I'm gonna attend my niece's World Golf Tournament, Torrey Pine. So hopefully I'll find some investors over there. I mean, my sister and my niece, they've been around. She played golf all over the world, right? She competes since she's 15, and her goal is to become a professional golf player. So her parents not gonna be there for her because my brother-in-law is getting a hip surgery. So I'm gonna be watching her. My sister actually decided to move to Torrey Pine, so I'm gonna be staying at her place and watch my niece. And I'm gonna be working on multifamily and doing investor relations over there.
Perfect. Well, that's
But
awesome.
I don't know anything about investor relations, so I might need help. If I do find an investor, I don't know how to do it.
Let us know.
I'm
You
gonna
could
reach out
let
to
us
you
know.
guys.
Mom, you could
Yeah.
always call me on that one. If you need help
Oh.
on advice when you do get there.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
right. Yeah, you can
no,
always
Eileen.
call Chris.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the investor relations. I'm the
That's right.
acquisition. I'm more good in the numbers.
I'm more good on relations. It's just part of me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you got a great partnership going on. So good luck in San Diego. And again, let us know if there's anything you need.
Yep, we'll reach out when I need help. Thank you.
Yeah.
Two.
I was going to ask, I don't know if Chris Allen is able to jump on, but I would love for Chris to share a little bit about the lending space. And then I saw Alex Camacho jump on. I'm curious what Alex is up to these days. So Alex, if you get a chance to share, that would be cool as well. But if Chris can share also, that'd be pretty fun because the market is really changing. But Alex Camacho, where in the world are you? You've been doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
What's up? Aloha, everybody. I know some familiar faces here, some people that I've never met. So I'm currently in Hollywood. I just came in last night from Oahu, so I was in Oahu for like a week. So I'm proudly, I'm proud to say that I was able to finish my Waianae house that it took me 15 months to finish. It's
Nice.
it's in Pokai Bay. It's kind of in the hood, but I grew up in the hood, so.
Dude, I love Pokai Bay, man. That's a local action right there. We used to go swimming in Pokai Beach. So tell us, run down the numbers on Pokai Bay. What happened? How come it took 15 months?
Yeah, so it was a combination of a couple of things, but essentially, as I moved to Maui a couple of years ago, kind of people knew me in Southern California that I was out in Hawaii and whatnot. So this very seasoned investor, much more than myself even, approached me and said, I have this property over in Waianae. I have a seller that I'm buying a property from in Southern California in Joshua Tree. And, I have this property. Can you help me evaluate it? Thinking of, and he had it locked up for $347 as a short sale.
Wow.
Yeah, it was super. And I knew he was going to want a fat wholesale fee if he wanted me to buy it, but I just helped him evaluate it at first, hit up Jerry Mateo, hit up a couple people about it, like the comps. And they said, I think it could be from like the 650 to 750 kind of range because it's right on the water, 3-bedroom, 1-bath. And so I offered him $100,000 and he took it. So I bought it for $447. I originally estimated 150 to 175,000 rehab, but I had to fire 2 project managers along the way, both local, locals. Like I want to work with local people as much as possible, how it is, but it didn't work out. And then I brought in somebody that's he's also local, but he was kind of somebody that had invested in one of my other deals. So then he kind of ran the rock. But and then also ran light on capital a couple of times because I had to self-fund it. I didn't have a construction draw. I only had one primary private money lender that had lent me $350,000 for the first. And I didn't have any second. I didn't have any construction draw, so I had to fund the entire construction out of my pocket. And so, And so it took a long time, and I'm managing it remotely, so that didn't help out. But the market was helped out. It didn't really go down in value, and so we're all in somewhere in I think high sixes, and it praised for 700. But frankly, I don't care. I'm going to keep the property. I'm going to keep like 100,000 in the deal. Now I'm going to use it as a second home. And, it's not going to be a situation where like, it's going to be probably not going to cash flow, but, I'm going to point my career where like, I don't care. Like I want to live in Oahu when I want over there on the beach when I'm there. And then I'll figure out the financial situation and it'll continue to appreciate. And then I really am a big believer that, Oahu is a little bit better fit for me overall than Maui anyway for spending more time on. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And if anybody doesn't know Alex and I just after COVID, during COVID, he and I were both at a conference in Seattle. We had lunch and we were talking, and Alex was trying to figure out where he would head and what to do. And so it's been fun to watch his journey on Maui. And then now he's kind of all over the place and really has a massively successful wholesaling company, which has been great. And then does flips in California. Maui.
Well, just so you guys know a
feel
little
like-
bit more context, yeah, like Kiko and I met, and I started kind of doing some webinars too around that time. So Coffee Talk was actually one of my original inspirations to do it, and then people in Coffee Talk, I miss the vibe here actually, because I'm a lot more in Southern California, and I don't really wholesale that much. I fix and flip like a couple, like I would say 20 plus properties a year, and then I keep the best ones, and then I get to kind of live where I want, either in Hawaii, in Mexico, or LA, because I kind of built it that way. But I'm always, helping encourage other people too. And, I'm a big, proponent and advocate and, of Hawaii and how to do business the right way there. Yeah, Southern California is really where I'm at. So if you guys ever need anything there, really kind of do a lot of stuff in single family. And I do have an apartment building in Phoenix that I'm in the middle of kind of finishing a value add, an 18 unit. That's been really challenging as well because of, the market changes and whatnot. And also, taking a lot more capital than expected. I should have probably called you before. And asked
I was gonna say, Alex, I don't feel like you invited me to the party. I would have told you.
Oh no, I should have talked to you a little bit about it more before, but we're getting there. We just gotta get it stabilized, and then more options will open up. But it's definitely taking a hell of a lot more capital than we expected. So.
Yeah, which is awesome. So you're gonna keep Pokai Bay, which is great. How many? So you're doing multifamily in Phoenix, and what else are you holding right now?
So I'm holding 3 single families in LA, 3 in Hawaii, the 2 on Maui, the 1 on Oahu, and then the 18 units. So I don't know, 20 something doors in those 3 states. But I primarily flip houses in LA to make money. That's to keep them, right?
Yeah. And then when you are holding them, are we basically doing a BRRRR, except for Pokai, you're going to keep 100K in?
Yeah, currently just doing just a cash out refinance DSCR loan. I mean, and then just kind of getting a higher rate and waiting to refinance later.
Gotcha. Okay. So anybody who doesn't know what that means and who wants to be in your shoes one day, how does that work when you own a property that you're flipping using a bridge or hard money and then a DSCR loan? How does that work to be able to actually qualify for that? And then how does that work to actually hold on to that property?
Yeah, so essentially you're just structuring it where it's an investment property. They're gonna refinance it and then give you certain terms of cash out refinance. It won't be, it's kind of like not as good as a traditional loan, but not as bad as a hard money loan, although rates right now arguably feels like they're hard money rates. And then so like,
sorry about that.
What?
I said sorry about that.
Yeah. And then so it just you have to kind of structure where essentially it's being rented out, and you're able to kind of cash out refinance, keep the property. And it's kind of really more based on like the equity, and then like the if it's gonna it's not necessarily on all the cash flow. So that's kind of why I structure them, like it's rented. But the Hawaii houses are a little bit creative, because yeah, man, it's tough to cash flow in Hawaii. We all know this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's tough to do a BRRRR type thing in Hawaii for sure. But that's awesome. Yeah. Well, for anybody who's flipping, Alex, on your Pokai Bay, what would you say would be 1 or 2 lessons for somebody who's trying to flip on Oahu and not want to get stuck in a 15-month project like you? What are some things that you'd say, hey, here's some stuff to keep in mind?
Yeah, just I mean, I also want to, even though I'm kind of more seasoned, I'm not a construction expert. I hate construction. So I think that's reflects sometimes. We'll get great deals, but then we won't be the best at executing the rehab. So I guess there's a little context there. But I would say the first learning lesson would be just make sure that you are on site every single week. Like the fact that I'm not there on site every single week, like it really prevents us from getting those results that we really want, especially on a heavier rehab where there's so many decisions being made, so many costs that could add up. So I'd say that the first is that just have a really solid scope of work, walk the project every single week. Just don't be afraid to fire people, because it just happens. Like people don't perform, or they just, they don't show up, or they're just, they're hard to work with. There's a lot of friction, and whatever the case may be, it's just better to hire slow, fire fast. We use that model as much as possible. And then, it's just like kind of all hands on deck with like just constantly sourcing more and more contractors, different bids, and I guess just knowing that's kind of a volume thing. Like you have to go through a lot of contractors, a lot of people to find the right ones, and so it's almost as heavy lifting as just finding a deal itself. So I'd say
Yeah.
just kind of really take that mindset of like, hey, it's like, okay, you got the deal. Well, that's the first hard part. Now you're on to the next hard part. So make sure you manage that out, and then just allocate a certain amount of time. Because if I've allocated more time, then sure, but then I'm also working on multiple projects in multiple states. So it's kind of hard for me to put so much attention on just one project. So I have a different problem than maybe somebody that's kind of just having 1 or 2 deals going. So just make sure you put all the attention you can on it, and you know, not be afraid to fire people if they don't perform.
That's awesome. Alex, would you? Oh, somebody else had a question. Oh, maybe no one else. So Alex, I was gonna say.
Hey, Alex. Oh, sorry, Kiko. Go ahead.
Sure.
No, go, Kurt. Go ahead.
I just want to know if I'm gonna win that trip to Hawaii. I saw your email.
Somebody won it last night, dude.
Just kidding.
That dude, you already get the call Hawaii.
I'm
home.
just playing.
Us.
And I go, what?
Yeah. So it's a marketing thing that we do. You know, we give away trips, you know, in some of our meetups, and so I did that yesterday. Because think about it, it's going to cost me their airfare, it's going to cost me their food, and I already have the houses. So it's like, all right, I had to find a way to leverage some of these, you know, properties in some other creative way. So that's kind of one of them too. Just like, okay, you invest 100,000 with me, and you're in LA. Cool. Whenever you want to go to Hawaii, you have a house to stay at. You just pay for your own flights and food, you know? So I do different things like that, and that's just an extension of it. So yeah, somebody wanted it, I'm going to pay for their flights and food, and it's going to cost me, you know, under $2,000. The thing is too, I get sponsors for my meetups. So then like the sponsors kind of pay for it. So it's like, it ends up not really being like out of my pocket either. Or actually this one, I didn't have as many sponsors. I didn't really have time to kind of hit up enough people, but it'll probably be $500 out of my pocket when it's all said and done. And I mean, it's great. I get to experience, you know, kind of experience Hawaii with, you know, some of my followers, and then, you know, keep doing deals here in SoCal. So, but yeah, we gotta hang out for lunch or something, Kurt. Yeah, I remember we got on a call. Kurt is so helpful, by the way. If you guys have any help, he's such a helpful, have that helpful heart, and I always got that from him. So thank you for all some of your advice you gave me on social media.
Oh yeah.
Let's
grab a bite to eat one day.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, Kurt is.
Also, one thing,
100%.
I'll be on Oahu the last week or the last 10 days of July, and then we're gonna throw a huge meetup. We don't have the dates yet at my Pokai Bay property with Kamohai and Deals in Aloha. So we're kind of do like a deal makers. My real estate investor community in SoCal is called the Deal Makers. So we're like the Deal Maker meetup. So it'll be like Deal Maker times, you know, collaboration with Deals in Aloha times 2, because we had done it there before when we first bought the project, and it was a hit. It was like 100 people there. So we'd love to see as many people of you there. It'll probably be like the last Saturday, I think July 29th. And it's gonna be like party. Like we're gonna like, you know, have food, like music, like it's already the hood. Like they don't care if it's already a lot of people driving around with their music on. We're gonna have our own music, you know. So
Count me in.
yeah.
Thanks.
It's gonna be fun.
That's awesome. You're called the Deals Aloha in the Hood. I love it.
Yo.
You got me on
Alex,
party.
Alex, just as a practical insight there, you know, you were talking about how you're not able to manage as well because you're distance, and you're suggesting people visit their sites every week. Would FaceTime work for anybody who's not in that community to do a FaceTime review? Or what's some ways to prevent that?
Absolutely. No, I do a lot of FaceTime. It's just I mentioned earlier is that like, since I'm not like the expert or that great in the construction side of stuff, but if you have somebody that is, then yeah, I would have that person. So right now I lean on my main contractor or this other kind of JV partner that I had before to look at videos. And even when we're not even like rehabbing existing property, but when we're looking at potential properties to make offers on, I don't want to go see a property if we're not pretty close to numbers. So we try to estimate as much as possible on offers by looking at videos and pictures and all that. So that's definitely, but there's no substitute to you going to the property weekly, in my opinion, based on my experience of remote flipping and remote deals for so long. It just like when I'm there more consistently, the end product looks a lot more than what I want it to look like, and the numbers tend to be better. So, but again, if you're doing multiple deals like I am, then it kind of all like it blends in. There's an average there, and then some deals do a lot better, you know, and some don't. So I do volume, but it is kind of one of those things that I felt like every single project that I kind of was a little bit more involved, like walking in and kind of all the little details. But it's just not the best use of my time anymore. So it's
100%. 100%. And I'm just like Alex, for everybody who's looking at investing out of state, I always say choose a state that you don't mind visiting because you have to visit your properties. And so just like Alex is doing Hawaii because he doesn't mind being in Oahu or Maui. So I do Vegas, and I'm now looking at Texas because our in-laws are in Dallas. And so I'm not buying in Phoenix, I'm not buying in North Carolina, I'm not buying in Wisconsin, not because they're bad markets, but because I 100% agree with Alex. If you're going to do a flip or you're going to buy a multifamily, you got to be willing to get on a plane and get into that city and hang out in that city and get to know the city, get to know the market, get to know the wholesaler, get to know the community, build a community like Alex does. So super great wisdom from Alex on that. I cannot wholeheartedly agree with that because if you're not on site, things just don't get done. We have a 160 unit here in Vegas, and I'm here almost every other week because of exactly what Alex said. I thought I could manage it from remote, but there's just something that is powerful when the owner shows up. Everybody just kind of gets in alignment. It's almost like when the colonel shows up to a military drill, all of a sudden everybody's got their sphincters a little bit tighter than when they're not there, you know? So,
yeah, dude. Haven't you noticed too that when you go to these projects, where like certain decisions that are made, we're like, who made this freaking decision? Like, this is like common sense not to do this or to do this, and then you just find all these little things that you're like, whoa, did someone not think about this? But it's not their money, so they're not thinking about it as like practical or as just kind of like really just putting their mind to it, like, hey, I have to do the best job I can with this project because it really isn't their money. So I noticed that too. Like, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like, why did you do this? Why did you do that? So, yeah, man, there's no substitution.
100%. Which to Alex is in my point. Alex, you and I should do a podcast someday. But to Alex's point, what he just said is if you're going to do a deal like in Phoenix or in a city that you're not usually in, find a partner who can get to that city or is in that city. So even if you give away a 5% share of equity, just to have a partner who is interested in the success of the project, just like Alex says, I show up to properties all the time and I'm like, why'd you guys spend 2 weeks trying to make that decision? I could have told you that if you called me 10 days ago, we would not have killed 10 days, right? Or like Alex says, they made a decision where you're like, now I paid for that. And now you got to tear it apart because I don't like it. They wasted my money. And now I don't like you guys. Now you guys don't like me because I'm making you redo stuff. So it's just a really bad spiral. So the solution to that definitely was try to be on site, like Alex said. You can't be on site. Find somebody who really understands what you're looking for to be on site for you, like an equity partner, because like Jacob and I partner on a deal in Tacoma, and he's there. I have not yet seen the deal. I've been there once. Jacob goes there every week, and it's awesome because Jacob, really has the same interests. And so definitely an awesome insight, Alex. Phenomenal. Hey, talk real fast. I know we're starting to run out of time, and we got so much gems, and we have 7 minutes. But in terms of building this community, I met you before you had a community. You were just getting kind of rolling, and now you've just built this amazing network of people in different states. So for somebody who wants to do that, like Ann in Wisconsin or San Diego, somebody's moving to San Diego, how would somebody start a community?
Yeah, so it started with just these webinars that I was doing that were kind of like meetups, and it was I had enough experience. And it was kind of during the pandemic, so people weren't meeting together. But they were literally like maybe a dozen people, like maybe 24 people at most at the beginning. And then once things lined up with COVID, I was like, oh well, why don't I do some of these at my current projects? People love to see stuff that's kind of in action, right? We could talk about the numbers, all that. So then it grew to like 30, 40, 50 people. And then we took it kind of serious. We're like, hey, we're getting some deals from it. We're getting some, we're getting some private lenders from it. We're like, this is like really kind of starting to work here. And it really stemmed from this thing of like, I would go to other meetups and I felt like I could do a cooler meetup. Like I could do a better meetup. I just like, there wasn't as many people. There weren't as much of a collaborative kind of mindset. So it was just kind of the entrepreneur spirit of saying, well, I want something like this to exist. Like every single one of us in this room could create a small little micro, a tribe or some type of community where it's like, okay, it kind of has your stamp on it and what you think is important. For me, it's that collaboration, no big egos. It's like, hey, I'm putting in the work. Are you also putting in the work? How can we help to work together, right? Go giver and just kind of that, and also just like enjoying the ride. But your flow might be different than mine, right? And so I just started to do the meetups, and then because they bore fruit, we're like, well, we should keep doing it. Anything that I do that works, like just common sense and business practices, that to keep doing more of that. And so we started to then take it more seriously. I started asking more friends that do bigger events and like, hey, how do you get that many people there? And so then I seriously, like, I set out the goal to say, I'm gonna build like the coolest free real estate investor meetup in Southern California. And I just kept repeating that shit like over and over to my team. Like, this is what we're doing. Do you realize this is what we're doing? We're building the coolest, biggest real estate investor meetup in Southern California. That's a huge thing we're doing right now. And we already have like, we're there. And so we kept doing it, and then we got to 100, 200, and then finally reached like 500 people that, you know, registered, and 400 plus people came out. And just what I learned is that people just want to be a part of something. They want to, you know, to make real connections. And if you're like at the forefront of that or in the center of that, you're going to reap huge rewards from it. It's also really fun. It is work, but it takes a lot less of my time than it did in the past, because I now have systems around it. I promote the meetup once a week on my Instagram, on the story, and on the main feed. And then we have my team, you know, puts it on Bigger Pockets Forum, puts it on meetup.com, puts in all these other ones, and we kind of track where, you know, the traffic is coming from. And then we have a website where people need to register to attend. And then I have a couple of venues, and it's all kind of on a system. So I just do it every month now. So just kind of like, hey, I want to build this community. And then, you know, I named it something, because you have to brand things so people remember it. And then since I was already a real estate deal maker on Instagram, I just kind of pretty much ran with that. Like, hey, deal makers, what's up, my deal makers? And that just kind of turned into something. And because people would like run into me and say, hey, what's up, deal maker? And so they would repeat it to me. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of catchy. Let's run with this. And then so all these little kind of things that came up. For you guys, it was Coffee Talk. Hey, let's meet on Friday, end of the week. You know, now everybody knows Coffee Talk. Like, if you're a Hawaii investor and you don't know about Coffee Talk, then what's wrong with you? Like, you're missing out big time, right? And I know a lot of us invest in other states, but I know it's primarily kind of based in Hawaii, right? So yeah, those are a couple of points. Is there any questions about that? Because that's just kind of top of mind, how I kind of built it all out and where it's at now. And, you know, yeah.
I love it, dude. Jacob, I think you and I need to do Deals in Aloha in Seattle. And Ben, let's do it.
Yeah,
guys. Alex has inspired us.
Yeah, I know. Very, very motivational and inspiring. Thanks for sharing, Alex.
And one last thing, we do have a weekly meeting. It's an event planning meeting. You guys are welcome to, you know, join sometime. And, you know, sometimes it's a longer meeting, sometimes it's shorter. We're just kind of covering logistics. We're covering, you know, marketing numbers. We're covering just, you know, hey, we're throwing events every single month. You know, so we need to meet about it every single week. Yeah.
I love it. Alex, you're amazing. I love it. Thanks for joining and giving so much value today. And thanks for sharing about Wisconsin. No, I'm not offending you because it's cold there. I just like warm weather. A lot of people love the Midwest. My wife's from Michigan. She loves it there. I'm like, there's a negative in front of temperatures. I don't understand how that works, but that's a no for me. But other people, it's a go. But Alex, great thank you to you too. Alex, if you need any help with Phoenix, 100%, just let me know. Happy to help you out. If you need to sell it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my phone number and Instagram on the chat here. So if anybody wants to reach out or anything, stay connected. You know, I love everybody at Coffee Talk in Hawaii, and you know, yeah, I'm just happy to share and do anything I can to help out you guys' cool community that I've also got a lot of benefit from. You know, by joining. I miss you guys, like I said, because it conflicts a little bit with one of these other meetings, and I'm having trouble kind of moving that other meeting around, so I can't join as much as I want.
Oh, you're awesome. And then, of course, you're awesome because we're going to have Okai Bay meet up in the ghettos. I love it. So that's going to be fun. So
probably some free tacos, some drinks, bring your swim. You know, there's a pool, so if you're going to go swimming. And let's put some deals together and enjoy some fun.
I love it. Alex, you're amazing. Well, hey, everybody, it's 2 o'clock here. It's probably, 11 o'clock in the morning out there in Hawaii, and wherever you're at in the world, have a great Friday. It's July 4th weekend. Go celebrate the independence. But thanks, everybody, for being a part. Thanks for the insights today to everybody who joined.
Nice meeting everyone. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yes.
Come next week
Call us if you need the money. Call us if you need money.
Alex, I'll call you later today. We gotta talk.
All right. Sounds good, everybody. See ya. Aloha.
Aloha, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.